Hi guys, Mons here. On today's episode of Now Ball with Mons, we're going to be going through Game Week 5, my predictions, my picks, review. We're going to see how I did in the Game Week 5 for my prediction and my picks. Also, if you find yourself on my channel, make sure to click on the subscribe button. Don't forget to share the video, leave a comment if you have a prediction. If you feel like you've done agree with my opinion, if you agree with my opinion, please leave a comment. I'm always open to a debate, a healthy debate with anyone. So this week, this Game Week 5 just gone. My prediction and picks, I went 4-1, 4 wins, 1 loss, and there were 5 draws. So, like I said, the draws don't count. So, the wins I predicted were Liverpool, Crystal Palace, Leeds, and Man United. So, those four came in. I predicted Brentford to go to Fulham and win. That was my risky pick for the week. That didn't come in. Brentford got absolutely battered. My guy Keto is not going to be happy with that. And there were 5 draws in the Premier League. I feel this season, I've seen that there's been a lot more draws in the Premier League than usual, if I'm not mistaken. I think this could be down to the fact that players and managers are under severe amount of pressure if you don't produce, if you lose a game. And I feel teams, managers, coaching staff are actually scared to lose a game. So they don't take as many risks as they used to take. So now, if you get a draw, they'll settle for that rather than going for the juggler, going for the killer late on in the game and try to get a winner. I feel teams nowadays are so scared, they'd rather take the draw and instead of risking it to get the 3 points. So I feel that's why there's been a lot of draws in this Premier League season so far, in my opinion. I predicted Liverpool win. I thought that was a pretty straightforward one. Palace was a bit dodgy. They're going away to West Ham. Any away trip in the Premier League for me is always dodgy in my opinion, no matter what you're playing. But Palace seems to get the job done. Mateta on the score sheet again, which is very good to see. I'm very, very impressed with Palace. From the highlights I saw, I'm very, very impressed with Palace. And I would imagine they're very impressed with themselves for getting a W in that game. Leeds, I predicted them to actually go to Wolves and win. Like I said, Wolves are on course for 0 points. And this Leeds team, I felt they would have had enough to beat Wolves because the Wolves are very low in confidence. It's crazy what confidence can do to a footballer. Wolves are very low in confidence. I felt Leeds would go up there. And Calvert-Lewin, I'm a big Calvert-Lewin fan. I'm actually glad to see him doing well. I saw he scored a header against Wolves, and I predicted the Man United win. I've gone through that in my review for the game week. Man United win. Still not satisfied. I just want more from the players. I feel like we can always get more from those Man United players. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. Shout out to Amorim. Shout out to the players. We've got to win at the end of the day. We're on 7 points now. And hopefully we kick on from here. Get some more 3 points on the board. Keep building, keep stacking up the points. And then eventually, at the end of the season, we see where that gets us. Hopefully, in one of the Champions League positions. Because I feel this Man United squad is more than good enough to get into one of those Champions League positions. Brentford, my guy Keto, unlucky this week. He's had a pretty good start so far this Premier League season. However, I know this was a 3-1 loss, Fulham away. Like I said, any away trip in the Premier League is always hard, no matter what you're playing. Keita just has to regroup. Unfortunately, like I said, Brentford has sold most of their players, barely replaced any of them. So it will be a long season for Keith Andrews. But I will back him to the end, and I feel like they're going to stay up this season. Like I said, the draws don't count. However, like I said, teams are scared to go for the juggler, go for the winner, the killer in the last couple of minutes rather than losing the game. So I'd rather take the draws. I'm actually very disappointed in Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa because I felt those are the games that both teams should have won and could have won. I didn't get to watch it now, so I can't really speak on it, but I would imagine both of those teams are very disappointed in not getting the full 3 points in this game, in my opinion. It was a good game week overall. Can't really complain. It was a very, very good game week. They're playing on Saturday. I think every team scored on Saturday. I'm pretty sure every team. Yeah, I think every team actually scored on Saturday in the Premier League. And there were plenty of goals. It was very exciting because I remember watching the highlights. There were lots and lots of goals. See, when teams actually attack, when you go out full attack, it's beautiful to watch. But when teams just sit back, don't even bother counter-attacking, just want to sit back. But I do understand circumstances are different from different teams. Some teams go to like Man City went to Emirates. That's totally understandable. But when you're supposed to be the better team, you just go back and sit back and don't take more risk. There's something definitely wrong there. There's something definitely wrong in my opinion. Like I said, with Arsenal just need to take more risk. That Man City game, I felt they were the superior team to Man City. When you look at the starting 11, when you look at the league position last maybe 2 years, and also Arsenal cannot finish second this year. I don't think any team in the Premier League has finished second 4 times in a row. I think Arsenal could be the first team to do that if they finish second this year. So if I was them, I'd rather finish third and second because you don't want that record. You don't want that record on your CV, especially if you're Arteta. Also, Arteta needs to stop killing players' creativity. Eze is one of the best players in the Premier League in terms of creative ability, but I think Arteta is going to ruin him simply because Arteta is looking. Just the way Arteta is, in my opinion, I don't think Arteta is going to get the best out of Eze because he wants Eze to be disciplined and sacrifice some of his attacking intent for him to be able to be good defensively, which is not going to work. Players like Eze, let them do it, let them free flow, let them be in their flow state. That's the best time and the best time you get the best performances from them, in my opinion. That's pretty much it for this for game week 5 prediction and picks. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button and leave a comment if you'd like. Thank you very much. Have a good week.